The average combat life expectancy of a new fighter pilot on the Western Front is about 3 weeks. Some squadrons say they see rookies getting shot down on their very first patrol before they've even learned to recognize an enemy plane in time to react. You are 19 years old. You have less than 20 hours of flight training, and in a few minutes, you'll be strapped into a machine made of wood, wire, and canvas, climbing to 10,000 feet with a machine gun bolted to the front of it. This is what it actually took to survive and rise as a fighter pilot in the First World War.
Level 1. The probationary pilot. You arrive at the squadron aerodrome with barely enough flying hours to be trusted alone in the air, let alone in combat. The men who've been here longer don't bother learning your name yet. They've watched too many replacements disappear within days. They literally don't want to invest the effort of knowing you. Your training back home taught you to fly, but it didn't teach you to fight. Nobody warned you that your first sight of an enemy aircraft would freeze you for a full second too long, and that is the second that gets most rookies killed. Combat flying isn't like anything you practiced. It's a knife fight in 3 dimensions, decided in the moments at speeds that leave no room for hesitation. Either you learn the real rules fast, or you don't learn them at all. The general rule is to always check above and behind you, because most pilots who die never see the aircraft that kills them.
You can never fly straight and level for more than a few seconds over the line. Your aircraft is held together with wire and doped fabric, and a single burst of machine gun fire can set the whole thing on fire in seconds, with exactly no parachute to save you. The commands have all decided that putting parachutes in aircraft might encourage pilots to abandon costly aircraft too early, so you must fly without one, every single time. Your first patrol, you barely function. You're flying formation, trying not to embarrass yourself, trying not to die, and trying to understand how anyone survives this more than once.
Level 2. The pilot. You survived your first weeks, which already put you ahead of most people who wore this uniform. Now the fear doesn't really disappear, but you've learned to fly through it instead of freezing. You understand the mechanics of the fight now. You've learned that energy is everything. Altitude is stored speed, and speed is survival. You've learned to use the sun as a weapon, diving out of it so the enemy doesn't see you until it's too late. You've learned that turning fights are a last resort. You've learned that the pilots who live are the ones who strike fast and disengage, not the ones who linger to prove a point.
You've also learned what it cost. You watch new pilots arrive weekly, and you watch most of them not make it to their second month. You stop learning their names as quickly as you used to, not because you are cruel, but because caring for every replacement who won't survive the week is a weight nobody can carry indefinitely. Your aircraft becomes an extension of your instincts. You can tell engine trouble by sound alone. You know exactly how many seconds of ammunition you have left without looking. This precision isn't training anymore. It's what you have left and what you have to learn and adapt to after enough of your friends didn't make it back for you to learn from their mistakes instead of your own.
Level 3. The flight commander. You now lead a flight of 4 or 5 aircraft into every patrol, and their survival depends on decisions that you must make in seconds, thousands of feet in the air, with no time to consult anyone. This rank changes what fear means to you. It's no longer just about staying alive alone. It's about bringing your flight home. You're responsible for spotting the enemy first, for choosing when to engage and when the odds are wrong, for pulling your pilots out of a fight that has turned against you before pride gets someone killed. You've learned to read a dogfight the way a chess player reads a board. You must know who has the altitude advantage, who's running low on fuel, who's about to make the mistake that gets them killed.
You are the one that calls the breaks. You are the one that calls the retreats. Sometimes you watch one of your pilots go down anyway, and there's nothing you could have done differently, and you have to lead the next patrol the following morning regardless. You've also become a target in a different way now. Enemy pilots learn to recognize flight leaders by their flying. They learn to recognize traits of the leaders, which is aircraft that are more confident and more aggressive. And some enemy pilots make it their business to hunt the leader first, knowing that a flight without directions and instructions of the leader is bound to fall apart as fast as possible.
Level 4. The Squadron Commander. You command the entire squadron now, a dozen or more aircraft, and every pilot in it answers to you. You rarely fly every patrol anymore. Your job has shifted to something closer to the ground. You used to escape by flying, but now you're the one who decides tactics for the whole unit. You are the one who studies the enemy's patterns, who requisitions new aircraft as the ones under your command are shot to pieces or simply wear out. You write the letters home now, more of them than you ever imagined you'd have to. for men who trusted your orders and didn't come back from them.
You've lived through enough aircraft generations that you don't actually remember when the machines you fly now would have seemed impossible. Faster, more heavily armed, more dangerous to fly, and we've flown against in equal measure. You've outlasted an era's worth of pilots who started exactly where you did, with the same odds stacked against them. And you understand now that your survival owes as much to circumstance, more than it owes to skill. Your authority is absolute in the air and in the mess hall alike. But the responsibility that comes with it means every loss under your command is the one you carry personally, whether or not it was your decision that caused it.
Level 5, the Ace, or Veteran Commander. 5 confirmed enemy kills earns you the title that the newspapers back home have started printing about, Ace. 10 enemy kills earns you more fame, but with 20 or more enemy kills, your name becomes a legend on both sides of the front line, known and feared by enemy pilots who've never even met you yet. You are, by any honest measure, an anomaly. The vast majority of pilots who started when you did are dead, and you know precisely how much of your survival came down to skill versus the kind of luck that has nothing to do with skill at all. You've flown against the best pilots the enemy has, and you've watched several of your own closest friends die in the same skies where you're still flying.
The fame changes nothing about the danger on the front. If there's anything the fame does, it makes you a priority target. Every enemy pilot wants the kill that will end a legend. Every enemy pilot also wants to be a legend by killing a legend. You fly every patrol knowing that the record you've built could end in the next 30 seconds, just the same as it could have ended on your very first flight. What you've learned, more than tactics or gunnery, is what it costs to become this good at something this deadly. Every skill you have was paid for by watching someone else's mistake end their life instead of yours.
Most pilots who took to the skies in this war never became aces. Most of them never made it past their first month. Only 3 weeks. That's what the war expected of you the moment you climbed into the cockpit. If you're still flying after that, you've already beaten the odds this war was never built to let you beat. Subscribe for more POV rank progressions, and don't forget to comment which unit you want next and exactly what is your take on this.